With that down, let's move on to this. The Buffalo Bills, in very Buffalo Bill weather, went ahead and put a beating on the San Francisco 49ers. It was 35-10. They won by 25. I don't even think the game was that close. But also the Eagles had a very solid signature win over the Baltimore Ravens. The, at the time, 8-4 Baltimore Ravens beat them 24-19. Asterisk, Tucker missed 7 points worth of kicks. He missed 2 field goals and he missed an extra point. And the Ravens lost by 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that's a side note. The Eagles pulled it out. They won again. And they won again by winning the way they've been winning. Winning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, running the ball at an almost 2-to-1 ratio. They are just bullying everybody else.
Yeah.
I heard Coach Rex actually, or they saying the NFL, the Eagles are now the bullies of the NFL. And you know what? This is a team that looks like a very different team than that team that was 2-2. And people started talking about whether the coach might be on the hot seat. Remember, then he was squawking at fans and all that kind of stuff and whatever. And they're talking about, oh, this is going to be another disappointing season for the, and because in the first 4 or 5, I didn't even say 6 weeks, after they lost Jason Kelsey, they just didn't look as tough on the line anymore. But they have come together and they've pieced it and they're pushing people over. So now, even though in the AFC, the Chiefs are 10-1, and in the NFC, Detroit is 10-1, those are the first place teams. The eye test to me says it's pretty clear. Buffalo, who has beaten Kansas City in Kansas City, and the Eagles right now, remember, the Detroit Lions, they're missing about 75 starters off their defense right now. I think the number was 75. Might have been 80. I'm not sure. But they're basically missing half of their defense.
Numbers, yeah.
They're basically missing like half their defense right now. The eye test says that the Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now, and the Bills are clearly the class of the AFC. And the question is it at this point, as Thanos would say, inevitable that our Super Bowl is going to be the Eagles and the Bills? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't see anybody in the AFC that can beat the Bills. And I don't see anybody in the NFC right now. If the Eagles keep playing like they are and they don't pull a last year where they start choking down the stretch, they just look unbeatable right now. So I don't know, Ryan, are we looking at an Eagles, Bills, or is it too early to call that, do you think?
I don't think it's too early to say that because we've already played, 14 games or whatever?
Yeah, 13 games.
13 weeks in?
Yeah, 13. So I don't think it's too early to say that. The Lions are still good. Hopefully this will get some of their guys back. AFC, I think the Bills are the best AFC team. The Chiefs are still there, even though they got beat. I mean, in the playoffs, I still believe.
By the way, they only won this week because the guy botched the snap.
Oh yeah, well
that
game. Yeah, they should really wear green instead of red. How lucky they are.
They should have 3 losses right now, easy. But I'm not going to go on that rant again.
Yeah. So, but the Steelers won again. They're still good, but I do think the Bills are probably still the best AFC team. I think Eagles is probably looking more and more like the game. I mean, there's still some games left in the divisions for some of these teams. I think I don't know. The Lions' offense is really good too.
Yeah.
They're going to put
basically, basically respect the Lions.
Basically,
John.
Barkley is like we talked about last week. He's like an MVP level candidate. The way he's playing. And,
it's basically,
and Jalen Hurts has been really good. So
especially Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley right now in the MVP race, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Yeah, I if I had to put money on it, I would probably go Eagles Bills right now.
Yeah, that's. I still like. But the Chiefs are still there.
Yeah, but we'll probably end up with like Broncos, Bucks or something. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's the great thing in the NFL, right? On any given Sunday,
anything
sort
happens.
of thing.
Yeah.
On any given Sunday, the other team could botch the final snap of the game to win the game. Yes, that can happen any given Sunday.
Disrespect.
You can Chiefs your way through the playoffs by relying on other teams' mistakes.
I've mentioned it before. I saw plenty of number 1 seed Colts choke away to wild card teams. Yeah, so it happens. It just hopefully not for your team, but it does happen. So.
You brought up the Steelers, right? Despite that weird loss that they had in the snow and everything like that to Cleveland, I mean, they've got a game coming up against Cleveland this week where they have a chance to get a little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
Like they have been looking better and better and better ever since they got Russell Wilson at quarterback.
He threw for 400 yards,
Yeah,
which is nuts for.
which is not what you think.
No, not for Steelers and him. No.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers can't even throw for 300 yards in like 3 seasons plus. Out comes Russell Wilson throwing for 400.
Every week now too, I check the total, like win, lose, or draw. I don't care. I'm like, just break 3, Aaron.
Still didn't do it.
John's
He didn't even break
185. Oh my God.
He was short about 100 and
Oh,
something.
he had a nice. What did you say, John? You liked his suit after the game or whatever?
Oh, he had
Oh, did he have
he
a
was.
nice suit?
Hey, listen.
Yeah,
All
nice
due
suit.
respect,
I didn't see it.
Aaron Rodgers was wearing a sharp looking like it was almost like a cardigan, but it was a really slick
Thanks for
gray cardigan. It was a good. I coveted it.
Yeah, it was nice.
I would say I felt covetousness for that cardigan. At any rate, in the AFC, I mean, like you said, the Steelers.
Chiefs, Bills. I think that's. Chargers. I don't really believe in the Chargers.
No, I think the Chargers are going to be really dangerous next year.
Yeah, I don't
but
really believe in
this
them.
isn't their year. They look good.
Hey, bitch.
And the Bengals,
Well,
who are in week 13 mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
I guess you can't really count. I mean, they don't really prove in the playoffs.
cares?
The Ravens, but the Ravens are good. They could take somebody out.
They just
Lamar
Yeah.
could have a game, but they'd have to prove it. I don't really.
I mean, they just lost to the team they'd have to
Yeah.
go through in the Eagles.
but like you said, the kicker missed 3 field goals or whatever.
2
Yeah.
field goals and an extra
Yeah.
point, 7
So-
points worth of kicks.
Um,
Although the field goals were not exactly gimmies. The
No.
field goals were both kind of long distance, but still. So I don't know who. I mean, look, if Detroit can get healthy, because like
Well,
seriously,
it doesn't
they're-
really seem to be a problem for them, but yeah.
yeah, I mean their defense, they're on the defensive side of the ball, they're dropping like flies.
Yeah.
yeah,
And you can put up a lot of points. That's great. You run into Philadelphia, who is right now the scariest defense in the league.
yeah.
You're going to be limited to how many points you've got on, and you don't have a defense that can stop Jalen or Saquon or anything like that. You're just going to get outgunned
Uh,
without a defense.
And like we talked about earlier in the season, the NFC North is going to have 3 playoff teams
Yeah.
because the Vikings are 10-2 and the Packers are 9-3. So that whole division is basically the top 3 seeds. So
Isn't it crazy how good the Green Bay Packers have been ever since they got rid of Aaron Rodgers?
no, well,
It's crazy how good they've been.
speaking of Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah. Man.
I got to bring it up because I don't have an Aaron Rodgers topic this week.
They look
Yeah.
good, but I just can't tell the difference in the teams previous. Oh, that's right.
They look good. So, anyway, guys, the question is for you. Do you think at this point it is inevitable that it's going to be an Eagles-Bills Super Bowl? Who do you see as the main road bumps in the way of that happening? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments below and let us know your thoughts.